And in more EV news, VW are expanding in Spain and Tesla is expanding everywhere. A couple of days ago, VW announced an investment of 10 billion euros for EV and battery manufacturing in Spain, according to Herbert Diess. Volkswagen said it's going to build a battery plant and invest in producing EVs at its 2 car factories in Spain. He said, "We will electrify the second largest car producer in Europe, Spain, with a new gigafactory of batteries and the production of electric cars in 2 plants," said Diess, according to Reuters. Volkswagen eventually plans to establish a full ecosystem of suppliers from lithium extraction to the assembly of batteries. VW sales figures for Q1 2022 were reported as total sales figures of 1.9 million vehicles, but only 99,000 of those approximately were actually EVs. Their plans for Spain include a 40 gigawatt hour battery plant, which is enough batteries for between 500,000 and 600,000 EVs, and they're investing 3 billion euros in a plant in Sagunto, Spain, and another 3 billion euros in 4 SEAT factories, including the Martorell plant near Barcelona, and another 1 billion euros in Pamplona. The Cupra Born, which is a SEAT car, which is owned by VW, they're saying should be coming to Australia. Cupra is the sports arm of SEAT. As I've said, it's owned by VW. And the Cupra Born is based on the VW ID.3 platform. It should have a driving range, depending upon the battery size, of between 340 kilometres and 550 kilometres. The 3 battery sizes that I've heard are 45 kilowatt hours, 58 kilowatt hours and 77 kilowatt hours. That's in Europe. I expect in Australia we'll only get the 2 larger ones, 58 kilowatt and 77 kilowatt hours. Although nothing has yet been decided for Australia. They hope to launch this in the middle of 2022 with the pricing in the region of $40,000 to $60,000 Australian. In Tesla's news, their Gigafactory in Grünheide near Berlin has only recently begun productions and it's slowly ramping up. But it appears that they're already in negotiation to purchase more land. They've already got a 300 hectare site, but they're looking at purchasing another 100 hectares alongside it. This is a map of the current area owned by Tesla and the proposed area. So just for those of you that don't speak German, Betriebsgelände means company premises, Tesla Gigafactory, and mögliche Erweiterung is possible extension. So that's the red area, which is showing what they are looking at buying. So the purchase and construction of Giga Berlin was pretty drawn out because of German bureaucracy, green interests causing a lot of troubles. It took a few years for that to go. I think that this is going to take a few years before they get any extensions built here. Although Giga Shanghai had to close down for almost 5 weeks due to the Chinese authorities basically shutting down the whole of Shanghai, the Gigafactory there is almost back up to a reasonable capacity. They started back with 8,000 employees who were making about 1,200 vehicles per day. They're now starting 2 shifts going, so they should get the production run up to 2,000 vehicles a day, which is about around its maximum capacity. Reuters reported that Tesla Shanghai plans to further extend the factory there to increase production by another 450,000 Model Ys and Model 3s per year. That will take it to 1 million or more vehicles, and it will make it the largest automotive export hub in the world. The Shanghai factory was famously completed in only 10 months, so here's hoping for a speedy build there compared to Berlin, as this will mean more cars for Australia. Yay! Elon Musk at the recent finance call said that he wants Tesla to expand massively, and he still expects to be able to build 20 million EVs a year by 2030. So they've now got 4 gigafactories: Fremont, Shanghai, soon to double in size, Berlin and Texas, which are ramping up. They're only making Model Ys at the moment as well. So despite a poor month of production, closer to 5 weeks lost production in China, it is possible that they will manage to get pretty close to the same production rate in Q2 as they did in Q1, because Fremont factory is actually running close to 10, even 20% higher than its actual capacity. And finally, Tesla recently released their latest impacts report for 2021. It's 144 pages long, but here are just some interesting highlights from it. Global greenhouse gas emissions. As you can see from here, their global greenhouse emissions around the world, if you look at this, it gives you electricity and heat production is 31%, transportation 17%, industry 19%, agriculture, forestry, etc. 15%. For the world, the other one is for the US. So there's plenty to do. So the environmental impact that Tesla has is a very important aspect of this impact report. As you can see here, they produced 25.39 terawatt hours of energy from Tesla solar panels, and a lot of those are on the roof of the factories. And they've calculated out that the energy consumed by the factories and other facilities and energy used to charge all Tesla vehicles, 25.27. So they're actually net positive on solar generated power. And obviously they're trying to reduce their carbon footprint even further. And as you can see here, they continue to improve the efficiency of their cars. Model Y and Model 3 are some of the most efficient vehicles on the road. They're trying to improve the efficiency of their factories. And this is the old Fremont factory where things got moved around a lot. Their new factories, Shanghai, Texas and Berlin, are much more well designed so that you can have less movement of parts. And that has created a 17% improvement in efficiency. And in order to reduce their carbon footprint even more, they're putting solar panels on the roofs of their factories. It's going to have 70,000 solar panels on the roof in Texas. Burning fossil fuels creates a lot of pollution, in particular nitrous oxides and particulate matter. And this leads to some pretty nasty, horrible medical problems, and basically 8 million premature deaths globally from nitrous oxides and so on, which we've got to stop burning diesel. I'm going to do a video on that very soon. One of the big advantages of owning a Tesla is the Tesla supercharger network. And according to this, they have had an uptime well over 99.5%. Just compare that to some other chargers. Certainly around Australia, there's a lot of other not superchargers, but other fast chargers that are just not working. They're broken and they take forever to get around to fixing them. Whereas the Tesla chargers downtime is very, very short. Vehicle safety is another obvious concern. And Tesla vehicles are some of the safest vehicles on the road. So if you look here, this is out of the US, the number of vehicular accidents per million miles driven. So the total US fleet here has got about 1.75 to 1.8 accidents per million miles. Tesla vehicles, about half of that, 0.8-ish, with no active safety measures. But when you've got autopilot engaged, it drops down to about a third of that still. So that is certainly a huge factor of difference, almost a factor of 10. So Tesla vehicles with autopilot engaged are the safest vehicles on the road at the moment. Also, with vehicle safety is the risk of fires. Now, we've all heard of electric vehicles catching fire, and it's always Tesla in the news. But if you actually look at the figures here, the number of fire events per billion miles travelled, and this is from 2012 to 2021, this is over 50. Yet with Tesla, it's under 5. So this just proves that Tesla vehicles are safer again. There's a factor of about 11 in here. And of course, the only things that ever reach the news are Tesla catches fire. And of course, recycling of batteries is a hot topic. And this shows that Tesla are recycling a lot of stuff already. 1,500 tons of nickel, 300 tons of copper, and 200 tons of cobalt. And they're pretty efficient. If you look at this, 1,000 kilowatt hours of end-of-life batteries, they separate it, they get what's called black mass enrichment, and that is over 97% of what they started with. And then they purify it so they can get the raw materials out, ready to make another battery, and that is 95% efficient. And at the end of this 1,000 kilowatt hours of battery recycled, they will remake 921 kilowatt hours out of the raw materials. So 92% efficient in recycling old batteries into new batteries. And Teslas are all about the environmental impact on the world. So this is something that they're very hot on. So thanks very much for watching that. I hope you found it interesting. Please like, subscribe, make a comment below if you like, hit the bell notification icon. It all helps the algorithm with YouTube to put these videos up in front of people so that other people can learn. Thanks very much.